Not having much luck with the off-brand showers, but don't know how to install a Rinnai? Watch this video and you'll figure out an off-grid way to hook up a Rinnai Tankless water heater and enjoy like very high quality showers.
Okay.
All right, so all you need to know about your water intake is that it can't be scale or too hard, and there's tests for that, and it needs to be filtered for sediment. This part could be pretty necessary, is actually very necessary.
And then additionally in your water system, you're going to want to make sure you have an airtight system, and so you could use PEX pipe if you want and crimp the connectors, or use like a glued slip-on fitting like these. This is a diaphragm pump. Normally off-grid you're going to be using some kind of pump like this, whether it's AC or DC.
But this does work with a pressurized tank as well.
And I think it's a 0.4 gallon per minute activation rate.
Yeah, for the Rinnai to activate.
So yeah, if you don't have a high enough pump, you won't get it to turn on in the first place. And turning it on in the first place requires wiring and a plug. We actually just took this off a pump we had. I think it was like, what, 16 gauge wire?
Yeah, 16 gauge.
And so what you're not going to see, when you get the unit, you're going to see two wires, a black wire and a white wire. And you don't see that now because we have it in a harness.
It's inside of this tape.
And we've crimped it to this plug, black and white, matching. But what you won't see is the ground wire, which you actually have to take the front off, which requires 4 screws. This one was pretty difficult to get off. But you take the 4 screws off, this hood pops right off, and you'll find a little bus inside here where you have to crimp on an eyelet and screw in the ground. If you don't do that, it will not work at all. Like, you will not get any water coming out of it. It actually turns a switch to stop the flow of water. You can't even take a cold shower without this grounded. So that is very, very important to make sure you ground the system. But when you read the manual, you'll see a lot of information about valves, isolation valves, and pressure relief valves, which are not necessary if you're going to use it in this sort of situation where it's like a shower device, like a tankless shower.
The pressure relief valve could be a good thing to have, but it's not necessary. It could be a good safety thing to have, but you don't actually need it. And so this is self-explanatory, and obviously that's just where the water, the hot water outlet leads to your shower, or whatever your load,
Sink,
I guess, your
if
sink,
you're gonna
whatever.
use it in that application.
And then all you need to know other than that is that you don't need to do a professional installation of a 100-gallon tank externally or a municipal source. You can actually use a rubber propane hose as long as you know you're getting the right one. I don't know if you want to show them this, but there's that's 2 different regulators. It's 2-stage regulated, and it's rated for a higher BTU than is shown on the side of the unit. So this hose particularly is a 225 BTU 2-stage regulated hose that you have to make sure in your manual that this has the right water column for or propane pressure inlet as is rated for the inlet of your unit. So just go in your manual and make sure that matches and you're at the correct BTU rating of your regulator. And you can actually use just a 20-pound propane tank and a rubber hose. And we turn it on, it gets hot water. It doesn't have a temperature controller yet, but it does work. And we know that it's an outdoor model. We're using indoor. You just open a window. We personally chose to open a window. We're not idiots. It does emit carbon monoxide, but we're not looking for professional plumbers fucking cute advice in the comment section. We're just trying to show people how to use this in an easier way in an off-grid setting. Thank you.
Maybe. Well, we just figured we should show you that this actually works, so you don't think we're totally like wingnuts, right? So here we go. Plugging in the pump now. You can see that's 3 gallons a minute going through. Now I'm going to plug in the Rinnai. about to turn on. No, I think it'll turn back on, yeah. Yeah, there it goes. If you don't leave it plugged in, it's gonna reprime itself like that, probably. But you just don't want to put your face in front of that exhaust. That's the big thing here. If you do that, it's a great shower.
Just faces in the shower. Yeah.